Well, welcome back. Another clicker here on Chatterbox Sports. Excited to be back with you. I know it's a little bit of a disappointing, time for the Bengals right now. Obviously, coming off of a kind of a brutal loss to the Steelers, and I coached against the Steelers 19 times when I was with the Bengals, and I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter how the game goes. If you don't win that game, it eats on you pretty good. And the Steelers kind of had our number while I was there for most of the 20 teens. And it's a rivalry that I think Pittsburgh will never admit that it's a rivalry, but there's a lot of hatred between the two teams. And when you see that, I think the fans travel well for Pittsburgh, and again, you start seeing all those people show up in your home stadium, and it's tough. And then again, with what happened the other day with Burrow being out and Jake Browning being in, there is a little bit of a, kind of what's going to happen, what's going on, where are we going with this team, what do we want to do? There's been a big debate over the last couple of days of, okay, how do we want to win, or do we want to kind of tank it and go get another draft pick? And you got to think, if a team that's this loaded gets their quarterback back next year and also gets a top 10 pick, that's dangerous for the rest of the league. And I think the Bengals kind of understand that, but I think there's some pride in that room, in that building, that they're not going to just want to tank it. And I think that's from the coaches. I think that's from the players. The players aren't thinking about that. I can promise you that. The players and the coaches are not thinking about tanking it. And I really, knowing the Brown family and the Blackburns and Duke and everybody that's running that program, they're not thinking that either. That's my 2 cents of the debate right there. Now, I do want to point this out. There's some things, and this might be kind of hard to see, and I apologize, but I just want to point out a few things here. This little area right here. So there's 421 yards that the Bengals gave up to the Steelers the other day, to only 222. That's a tough stat to go by right there, especially when the Steelers haven't given up 400 yards since 2020. I think it was 58 straight games. The other thing that's going to come up is the rushing. 8 attempts, 25 yards. That's not enough. I mean, and really it was 8 for 16 for Mixon. I think Browning had another 3 for 9, or whatever the case is. One of the things that's going to show up here, and it's kind of hard to see. Again, I'll read it to you. It says time of possession. Time of possession was 37 minutes for Pittsburgh to 22:43 for the Bengals. That's a stat that it doesn't matter how you're playing, who's playing for you. If you've got that disparity of time of possession, that's tough to overcome. So those are some things that, is it one of those things that's going to allow you to win? Yeah, you can win if you score quickly, but again, it's kind of tough. Looking at the chat here, Reed, Coach, were you allowed to coach cat teams? I'm not. Oh, was I only allowed to? Yes, I was only allowed to coach cat teams. If I ever made it to the Panthers, I would have all of them. I would have all the big cats, and that's, yeah, I agree. I've only been allowed to coach cat teams, and it is obviously started with the Bengals and went to the Lions, and then last one was with the Jaguars, and obviously the Bengals are playing the Jaguars next week, so it's kind of a cool thing for me to be able to watch that, because I know a lot of the people in both places. Now we're going to move on to the offense, and again, there's some things with this offense that I just want to point out. And one of the things here is I'm going to say like run game. Okay, so with the run game, it was 8 for 16. Okay, I get it for Mixon. Not everything is Mixon's fault. Okay, so we're just watch this play, and you're going to sit here and go, okay, man, oh, he makes a bad cut. He can't make a cut out of there. Let's go to the end zone. This is an outside zone play. Outside zone play. They're trying to stretch this thing so that he can run and either keep it going here or cut it up here. This play is going to the right, which for those of you that are dyslexic or don't know your directional, not your awareness directionally, the right would be that way as you look at it. It'd be opposite of left. So obviously I don't know how else to explain what right is, but it goes to the right. The reason I'm saying that, I want you to watch my man here, Jonah Williams. This play is going to the right. It's hard to run a run play when one guy goes the wrong direction and takes out two more of your guys. So right here, Jonah Williams goes the wrong way. Oh, there's my guard. Oh, there's my other guard. Come on now. You guys want to blame that on 28? Get over it, man. I'm telling you right now, get over it. If you're blaming Mixon for that, get over it, all right? That's not a Mixon problem right there. That's one guy going the wrong way and taking out half your offensive line with him. And, yeah, I mean, I don't care. Is Chase Brown going to make a better run than that? Is Adrian Peterson going to make a better run than that? I don't know who's going to make a better run than that. So, anyway, and then again, you're on the edge right here. And even if he did go the correct way, your tight end's getting pushed right back into the running back. And I want you to watch the tight end here on the next play. On the next play. It's one of those plays that it goes, you're sitting here going, okay, you're going to blame Mixon for this. Now, what they're doing is they're bringing this receiver. I call him little because my wife always calls him little. But they're bringing him in here because they're running duo, okay? And, again, duo can go anywhere. And I'm going to make this point here in a minute. This is Tyler Boyd. I'm not sure why he just doesn't go dig this guy out. Just go dig the guy out. There's nobody there to block. Go dig him out. I get it. He's kind of blocking for whatever out here. But at the same time, like, if you don't have anything else to do, go find something to do. They're going to stunt out here, okay? Again, 73. That's hard, man. I mean, if you're the back, I'm telling you, I coached the running backs for 7 years in the NFL, and I'm telling you, he's going to slide down here. He's reading this guy. He's expecting if he goes here, he's going to go here. If he goes here, he's going to try to go here. That's how this play is read out. Well, when this guy swims and he's standing right in your face, right there. All right, cool. 81 right here. Irv Smith is standing straight up, not moving his feet at all, and just getting pushed back. Yeah, I get it. He's blocking TJ Watt. Good. Get in his way. That's some brother-in-law stuff right there. Now, here's the problem. Where's Joe Mixon going to go? He only has really one place to go at this point. Quarterback's in his way right here. He's got to go out here. Well, when he does that, guess what happens? A holding call on your tight end. Well, is Chase Brown making a better run than that? Is Chase Brown going to take big 99 right here and take him for a ride for 30 yards and make this thing a better run? I don't think he is. I don't think anybody's doing that. So my point is this. Everybody that wants to blame that man right there and say it's his fault, I'm vouching for him on this one, okay? So that's where I'm at. And again, I'm not going to show you all 8 of his runs. It probably wouldn't take much longer than this. But, again, that's why you're getting a holding call. People are going to go, well, Mixon shouldn't have bounced it. Well, where else do you want him to go? And, again, Irv Smith, so on these plays, if you can, you'd like to stay square as much as possible so that he does have that cut if he needs it. So there's a lot of things to be desired on those run plays. I get it, but to put the blame on that is unbelievable. But let's move on to one of the good things that Mixon did here. Mixon does a good job with this. I think y'all know this. They actually tried to throw a screen to him earlier in the game. This is late in the game. So this is when I tell you this is late in the game, I mean, this is real late in the game. But here's the thing. They're still in a position to possibly, get back in this thing. And here we go. So I want you to pay attention, though, to everything else that's going on this play right here. So they're running Chase over here to try to draw eyes. But they dropped everybody so deep because it's so late in the game. And they weren't even worried about the underneath. So, cool. You got the play off. Now, look at this block right here. Good block right there. Guy on the ground. Keep your eye here. He's going to get down the field, but keep your eye on these 2 linemen that are leading the way. Got a block. Perfect. Your guy got off. Your guy kind of, ran around. Go get on him. Good. Get on him. Good. Get on him. Good. That's some of the best effort I've seen downfield, in a while I'm not just saying from the Bengals, but from any group. And you talk about breaking tackles. You got him going to make another tackle, miss another guy here. And again, at this point right here, you're trying to save time. You can go fight to get more yards, but you might want to get out of bounds at this point. So, but this was a very good job of getting this play done. But again, give credit where credit's due. I was just beating on the line for a minute, but give credit where credit's due. This is good by the line. This is a great job by getting downfield. You got a block right there. You're going to get downfield. You're going to get downfield over here. This is a great job of full offense teamwork, getting downfield and getting things done. So, again, there are things. Yes, are there things to be to be desired. Now, going on to the quick game, all right, I got a couple plays here. And again, I don't know what he was told to look at here. And again, it could be a bunch of different things. And I'm hindsight's 20/20 when I say all this. Okay. So I'm just throwing this out there, but they're playing cover 3. He's actually dropping here. He's here. He's here. He's here. They're running stick. So on offense, they're going to run stick and they're running a slant flat. This is chase up here. I would think like right here, I think a lot of times you're going to look over here and you're going to say, okay, I can hit my stick route, and that's good. I mean, hit your stick route, get some yardage. But there is a chance here, like he might have thought this was a different coverage, and maybe he thought that guy would make the play. But if you turn here and you put that ball on Chase right now, there's a chance, and again, he's taking the safe throw. So, but there's things there, and I think people are like, well, why didn't they throw to Chase as much? That's probably why, because I think if I'm Dan Pitcher, who I worked with Dan, I know Dan well. Dan is going to make sure that Jake Browning is going to make the safe throw for the most part. If you want to put it that way, he's going to tell him, listen, if you don't think you got it over here, don't throw it. But if people are watching that and going, well, why didn't he throw that? That's probably why. It's safe throw right there. Same play later in the game. Again, you got stick, you got a kind of a little quick out, and you got a go route, and you're going to have a slant here and a flat. And you got really almost the same look pre-snap almost, but they're going to actually drop out into cover 2 here. And you can see right here, Chase still comes pretty open into this area right here. Now, could he have thrown that? Absolutely, he could have thrown that. But again, it comes back to you got I hate to call him a new quarterback, but you've got one of the best rushing teams, pass rush teams, right in front of you, right in your face. Let him take the play that's going to probably get a safe completion. But I would say most other quarterbacks that are a little bit more seasoned on the field and have had a chance to see it are going to say, man, there's a big void right there. And I got number 1 running right into that void right there. And I think a lot of people would take that, And again, I see some guy there. You are some guy. I'll tell you that. You are some guy. Appreciate you being in here. But 4th-year rookie quarterback. I agree. The thing is, though, man, I mean, practice is practice. I get it, but you'll never simulate the speed of a game. Even in scrimmages and practice, you're not going to simulate those kind of things. Now, I'm going to point this out in just a minute, too, on another one here in a minute. But anytime a guy jumps in the air, you'll see him try to do it right here. He's going to go try to punch him right in the, I'd say in the stomach area. Sometimes the hands might tend to end up in another area, but you punch them right here. But why do you want to punch them? Go in your backyard and jump up in the air and have somebody punch you in the chest. Your natural reaction is to get your hands down. And so that's why they're doing that. And, again, I think that's something you'll see that right there. It's a fundamental that doesn't get talked about a lot, but when your quarterback is new, and you can tell right here, he's staring this down, which I'll get into in a minute. They're able to get a read on kind of where he's going with the ball. Now looking at this again, this is early in the game. Okay. Early in the game. Now we're going to talk about protection. So this is the first offensive play of the game. All right. So this is going to be a max pro play action. Okay. So you can see here, they're running him. I believe they're going to stop him. They're going to run him. They're trying to stop him right here. And they're going to try to get the back in the flat, kind of a little curl route right here. I think it's called a lockdown. I think he's locking down right here. You can see they're trying to get that window to throw it to Chase right here. And again, what happens when you do this? You bring an extra tight end or extra O lineman to play tight end. 61 is eligible, 100%. If you were at the game, I guarantee you heard, hey, 61 is eligible. 61 has reported eligible. They say it over the loudspeakers. When we had Dennis Rowland, I think any of you Bengals fans that have been watching us for a while, but then when we played back in the day, 74 is eligible. 74 was eligible about 10 times a game when I was coaching. So, good things can happen when you do this. But here's the thing. He's really responsible for covering him in this case. Do you think that this this guy right here is worried about him running a route? Probably not, especially when his eyes turn here to TJ Watt. His eyes have turned now to TJ Watt. So this guy's going to add on and he's going to come in here. It's his job, though, to block him. I know they're doubling here, and I get it. That's a tight end on him, which we'll get into in a minute too. But again, you've got a body here. But if a body comes inside, no matter who that body is, DB, big guy, whoever it is, you got to understand, you still got to block that guy. So right here, you'll see later on, there's going to be one where they step down. I think everybody knows it, and TJ Watt comes right off the edge. But I mean, you can't just letting a guy run right through there. He's got to have his eyes up on that guy. So again, there's some things, and when you bring the extra lineman in, he's not always used to playing that tight end position, if that makes sense. All right, now we're talking about the jumpers. So I just want to point this out. This is what you do to a jumper. So watch here. They're bringing this little nickel blitz here, and he's going to jump up in the air right here. And you can see Joe's kind of right there, so he starts to push him. Well, here comes your backside. Here comes Volson right here, and he's in the air, and you push him down. I mean, you do everything you can right here. If you jump in the air, you take advantage of it, and then you can see here, Joe gives him the little body slam right there. Get down, And but that's what you do to a jumper. That's the only reason I had this on here, because that jumper showed up earlier and knocked the pass down. But they are taught to, if you jump in the air, get their hands down. So it's kind of a, it is what it is. But now this was I posted this on Twitter. Kind of got a little bit of a mixed bag of reaction to it. This was the third offensive play of the game. So this is 3rd and 7. All right, at the first offensive drive of the game. And again, you've got a double mug look up here. So this is, you got 4 linemen here, and then you got 2 linebackers in here with an empty set. Because really, yeah, there's your other tight end right there, empty. There's no back in the backfield, no tight end in the backfield. So right now, you've got 6-man protection because the tight end now is staying in. So this is one of the things that they did in this game as opposed to putting a back end. So they did 6-man pro with the tight end. So that puts the tight end on Highsmith right here. But they're playing 2-man. So 21's actually covering him. He's actually covering him. These guys here are having, I'm not 100% sure what they're doing, but it looks like he's locked on him, and then they're in and outing these 2 guys. So sometimes they'll lock the point. You'll hear, so that's the point of the bunch right there. So that's the point, like a if you had it like a knife, it's the point of the bunch right there. Usually this guy would lock the point. These 2 guys would in and out those 2. But what people are starting to do is lock the inside guy and then in and out with these 2 on these 2 guys. So you can see right here, he should then take Yoshevus. Well, he doesn't. Well, here's the thing. Who is this guy? That's Jamar Chase. Well, Jamar Chase is going to run a route right over here, and the cover 2 safety sees that. Who are you taking away? Who should you take away if you're one of the Steelers defenders and you're in game plan? You're taking number 1 away. You're doing everything you can to take number 1 away. So if you watch, he gets dropped in man coverage, and he runs this corner route. Well, the safety runs up here, and you've got nobody covering Yoshevus. And people are like, well, Burrow wouldn't have made that throw. I can promise you at that point right there, if Burrow has not thrown this ball, that ball is going boop right to him. And you can watch it from the end zone. You watch 80 over here, and right there is where he's right there. He's open. That's the point I said, because there's my man falling down, and there's the guy that's trying to cover him. But right here, that's great protection. Don't give the line a hard time about this one now. I mean, yeah, he's over here fighting. Man, people can say what they want. That's probably a future Hall of Famer right there in TJ Watt. And he's battling. He's got enough time. That's a lot of time on a 3rd down versus the Steelers, especially with an exotic front. So point being right here, you can see, watch his eyes right there. See how he peeked over here, and he's like, oh, crap. And then you just got to be careful. At that point, you got to put the ball away. Luckily, Jonah Williams right here, obviously that's the lookout block. Hey, look out. But he went and got on the ball, obviously could get the punt off, because that would have been bad if they would have recovered the ball there. That would have given them a much shorter field than they had. So that was early in the game. All right, 6-man tight end protection. Okay, I just talked about that just a second ago. So I want you to watch the pattern. And when I say pattern, it's how these guys are blitzing and how they're pressuring. They're bringing 4 guys. Okay, no big deal. Exchange blitz. He's going to drop. The DB is going to blitz off the edge. The DB blitzes outside. Well, that's a tight end right there. So the tight end's going to set out and block. That allows now you've got 2 guys to block TJ Watt. Okay, so this exact same protection I'm going to show you in just a minute, and it gives you 5 guys on 4 with your tight end blocking a DB, and then you end up getting help right here, even from Jonah Williams. Now, right here, this is a point that a guy like Browning you just got to. I mean, he should know this. And again, I think after this play, he'll probably learn his lesson. You can try to make all this crap happen. You can try to make all these crazy plays, but there's a point where throw that ball somewhere over here on the sideline and get rid of it. Throw that ball away. I mean, this is a linebacker, and I was watching this play with some young football players, some high school football players today, and one of the guys goes, "Man, that guy's fast. Who is that? That's got to be a DB." I said, "No, that's a linebacker. That's number 51." I said, "That's a linebacker." I'm like, "You're talking about the speed of NFL players now." At this point right here, man, listen, I know he's trying to make a play. He's trying to find one of those plays. Man, there's a point where you just got to, say, "Hey, man, they got me." And I mean, that's not a hit you want to take, and that's not a sack you want to take right there either. That's not something you want to do. Now, this was a 3rd and 12. Okay, it's 3rd and 12. This fourth quarter. I mean, it's a 3-point game. Fourth quarter, 3rd and 12. This is where you kind of want to just, you want to find your way down the field. You don't want to take any unnecessary sacks or anything like that. So, again, empty backfield, and you can see what they're doing. They're blocking here, and then he's gonna release. So it's really it's 6-man protection, but you got a chip over here with this tight end. And this tight end's gonna kind of run over here. You're gonna end up having this tight end actually. Once the tackle takes over, he's going to come over here. So you're going to have both your tight ends sitting right here. Well, it's 3rd and 12. Well, they're sitting right here on the sticks. So there's the sticks. So they're sitting their entire underneath coverage right there. Well, they've got pretty much everything covered right here. Well, here comes your rusher coming around the edge, TJ Watt. There's a point right here. Listen, hey, once you step up and you're not going to be able to throw that, just dump it off to one of these guys. If he dumps it right here to him, you have a chance to at least catch, and maybe they miss a tackle. Maybe you split them. I mean, how many times have you seen that? But, to take a sack right there, I think he's got to find a way to, again, you've got help on both sides. And, once they get out, that's why you've got them as checkdowns. So, I think now that he's played a game, now that he's seen it, now that he's felt it again, and it's come at him for a full 4 quarters, I think that's something that we'll get better at. Now, this is the one everybody's talking about. Fourth quarter, 3rd and 3, down by 6. Everybody's talking about this. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to the Bengals in the history of pass protection. So they got the 6-man, all right, with a chip on top. So they're chipping here. Okay, so chip, and he's running here. You've got a different pattern now. If you remember the pattern earlier, TJ Watt went inside and the DB came outside. This time, TJ Watt goes up the field and he comes underneath. Watching this from the end zone. With the way this thing should set would be, okay, hand here with Jonah Williams. Good, you got that guy taken care of. It's not what you want. It's not what you want. Trust me when I tell you that. You've got a tight end. You got Drew Sample blocking TJ Watt. That's a grown man right there, okay? Jonah Williams should then block the guy blitzing inside. Well, instead, for some reason, Drew Sample thinks, and again, I don't know if this is how it was drawn up on the game plan. I can't see how it would be, but I would think he would need to block him, and he would need to block that DB right there, and you'd have him here. And again, to not even put a hand on number 90 is not the way to get that done. But I would say right now, and again, for me to put blame on anybody on this, I would have to know what they were taught and what this protection actually is. But I know the 6-man protection that I'm used to doing is here. These two right here are really like eyeing this guy right here, or these two could be setting here and he sets back with his eyes here and you're hot here. It depends, it's been both ways, but right here, those guys are blocked. That guy's blocked. That guy's blocked. And then he's got, 1, 2, this guy 2 over here. And again, 2 ends up coming inside. So that would be the way something was not right between these two right here. So that's what was happening. Again, protection was kind of my thing. So I enjoyed talking about it, but you see with Karras's eyes, they're through here. So I'm assuming Karras is looking here and they are sorting out 1 to 2 on this side. And then if both of these guys, if for some reason both of those guys were to blitz like that, then they'd be hot. But they should have this picked up. And again, you got to put at least one hand on TJ Watt. And again, I see you saying there's no running back to help. Well, yes, correct. That's what he's taking the place of the running back. Normally in 6-man protection, you got a running back here. He's out in the route. And yeah, you'd be there, but they did it differently in this game to take advantage of being on the line. But it didn't quite work out on that one. All right, now I called this "Get Lucky." All right, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and again, sometimes it happens. Now, this is Max Pro. This is a play action dagger. So when I say play action dagger, this guy's kind of clearing out, and here comes Chase running like a dagger or a deep dig right here. He's running here, and then he's clearing out. They're trying to hit Chase pretty much here if they can. Yeah, you'd love to hit the deep post, but really this play's built to throw here. You got Mixon in the flat, and you've got a Max Pro here. When I say Max Pro, Mixon's actually in the protection. All right, so you got 8 guys in protection, and then you've got your 2 tight ends here, your 5 linemen here. So there's your 7 plus the back is 8, and again right here, if you watch this from the end zone. The problem you're going to get sometimes, though, is how much of this run play have they run? And you can see right here, the linebackers don't really bite much at all. And 38 sees this, and you can see Browning's eyes are looking right there at Chase. So you can see, watch this guy. He sees that, and he jumps. He gets a hand on this. I would tell you 9 times out of 10, this ball either hits the ground or is intercepted. I would say almost 0 times out of 10 do you tip the ball up, have it floating up in the air, and then the best player on the field happens to just run underneath it. So, I mean, you tip it up, and then obviously the one guy you want to get the ball to, it just happens to fall in his hands. He missed, they missed 2 tackles, and next thing you know, here goes Chase, and he's off and running. So, again, hey, making plays, man. I mean, sometimes you just gotta get it done. And if you look right here, so I mentioned this play also on X, Twitter, and got a little mixed reaction to it. But I'm telling you, this is the way this should go. If your line is sliding this way, it's empty protection. Okay, this is 5-man protection. This tight end's chipping and getting out. These guys are running here, and then he's running underneath. This guy right here is the hot, because you are not blocking. You're sliding your line that way. So you're hot off of anything over here. Any of these guys in 5-man protection, if either one of these 2 guys come and your line is sliding that way, when this guy blitzes, you got to throw it right over his head to whoever the hot guy is, and it happens to be Irwin right here. So right here, he's looking over here, trying to get this throw, when in all reality, he should be doing like either a little pop throw over the top, little sidearm throw around this guy. Somebody said, "Oh, that guy's in his way." No, that guy's not in his way. You want that guy there. If you're going to throw a hot, zip it through that little window right there. Bam. You find a way to get it to him, because you see that on the snap. You should see that on the snap. He's coming. You've got your hot coming underneath, and hit him. Now, here's where the lucky comes in. You break the tackle. Bad tackling by Pittsburgh. You break the tackle. Now, your hot guy who should have gotten the ball over here somewhere, maybe gotten, 8 yards. He keeps on moving, And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, there he is. And he ends up getting 30 yards. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So right now you see this when I say they're sliding this way, the center is turning this way. This guy's got a block. So your man here. These guys have their eyes over here. He's here, and they really got their eyes over here. Anything that comes blitzes on this side, you're hot. So when this guy comes running in here, you could tell right now he's not even looking in that direction. So with that being said, if he was looking in this direction right now, you find a way to drop that ball off right there, because if you watch right where that arrow is, watch what's about to run in there. There it is, Irwin. Now he breaks the tackle and he ends up making a pretty good throw. I mean, honestly, that's a great job by Browning. Great job by Irwin. But again, it could have been a little easier. Now I called this stare down. And again, this goes kind of with being a guy who hadn't played a whole lot in a while, and you've got Jamar Chase over here, and that. So this is like a little wrap route. They're going to sit a guy here, and it's kind of like a high-low, and right here you can tell. Watch this guy. What makes this guy right here break on this as fast as the ball hadn't been thrown yet? The ball has not been thrown yet. Ball's finally thrown. What made this guy that was just watch him break? What made him do that? Watch it from the end zone. Watch his eyes the entire time. His eyes never leave right there. You see that? He's looking. What's he looking at? He's looking directly at him. He's not looking at these guys. He knows he's got this area in zone because he's dropping down. It was cover 3 buzz. He's dropping down. He knows that. So he sees him looking. I mean, that should be, I don't know, pick 6, but that should be a pick. But instead, hey, remember I told you, 9 out of 10 times, ball up like that, ball's on the ground, interception. Hey, twice in one game did you knock it up in the air? Should have been an interception, all this kind of crap, and it just happens to fall into your best player's hands. So anyway, I wrote those down as stare downs, but again, you get lucky right there. But again, that's why, if you watch that guy, watch the break this guy gets. I mean, he does that because of the stare down. Now, looking at this, again, staring down this route. So this is kind of what people back in the day would call this a flanker, flanker post, flanker quick seam, F post, and it's a quick post, and you got like a little shallow. You're trying to pull this guy over here to try to open up that area right there, and that's exactly what they're doing. But again, watch this guy right here. Watch this guy. I get it. He has this area. But watch him break on that thing. Ball hadn't been thrown yet. Ball's thrown right now. Ball just got thrown. I get it. Chase is going to that area, but again, watch where his eyes go. You'll see a lot of quarterbacks too. When this guy goes running across here, he'll eye this guy first. So his eyes will actually go kind of here first. All right. To kind of get this guy to jump that and keep that area right there open for Chase coming underneath. Now, should that have been some sort of penalty? I don't know. But again, wasn't called. But again, that's why if you're watching these kind of things now, this right here is just basic cover 3. So they're playing here. He's here. This guy has the curl flat over here. This guy's going to drop back here. He's going to drop back here. This guy's got the curl flat. Okay, so that's cover 3. It's 3 deep, 4 under. Again, look where this guy's eyes are. You can see the logo on the side of the helmet if you got it like on a full screen. But you can see he's not looking at Chase. He's looking directly at the quarterback. And that's how he's able to make – he never once looks at Chase. And that's how he was able to make that play. Again, it's hard to see from the end zone, but you can see right there. I mean, he's looking at the quarterback the whole time. And if you go to the end zone, you can see the stripes on the helmet looking that way the entire time. So, again, you always talk about staring down your receivers. These NFL DBs, man, they're good. Again, I'll move on from that. I'm not beating. I feel like I'm beating up on Browning. I'm not. All right, guys. This is I've never had to stand back there. I've never had to stand back there myself and take that. I've coached different things, but never had to stand back there myself. So I'm in no way trying to say I'm better than that and I could get that done and all that stuff. But it's tough. It's a hard game. It's the NFL for a reason. Okay. Now, when they motion, I want to point this out. So when you motion a guy out of the backfield, so Sample's in place of the back. So instead of motioning back out, watch the linebacker's going to run out with him. So if the linebacker runs out, if number 50 runs out there with a tight end, they're playing some form of man. Okay, so right now, you've also got 2 press guys over 2 of your receivers. So right now, because that guy ran out with your tight end, you've got man right here. Well, when you've got 2 press guys, and when I say press, they're within a couple yards of it. They're kind of up in their face. What they're going to end up doing is they're going to run this guy kind of right through right there. And he's going to kind of run his feet just for a second, and then he's going to come underneath like this. And they're not going to get this. They're not going to get it switched off. You see that? So that guy comes underneath, and he's kind of setting that rub. Now he can't actually touch him. You see how he avoids him. That's a really good job by I believe that's Charlie Jones. No, that's Irwin. Sorry. But again, you can see right there they do that. Now I want you to watch this. If y'all want something to have a little bit of faith in, if you want some howdy, Chi-Town. Anybody says howdy around my house, I got to say howdy back. You see that? You see what he's doing right there? It doesn't show in the end zone, but you see how he looks over here and he gives and then watch him turn his head and he says something to the other receiver. You see how they communicate? And even he's communicating. He audibled to this. This was a straight up audible. So good for him. You see Burrow doing that all the time. Good for him for seeing man coverage, 2 press guys, and going to this little, as offenses would call it, rub route. So good for him. I mean, that's good stuff right there. That's something to build on. I mean, if y'all want to look at something to build on, that's something to build on. And again, that's part of the scheme. Everybody's beating up on Zach, beating up on everybody, Callahan. That's part of their scheme. That's part of their system. So it's good that they got that in there, okay? It's not like it's just elementary school stuff or whatever. That's high-level stuff to be able to see that and be able to get that done. So, give them props where props are due right there. Now, this was a touchdown pass. This was well-designed. Again, they don't run a whole lot of counter plays where they're pulling guys like this out of this formation. But, again, this is a max protection pretty much in all reality. It's not a true max, but I guess, because he's actually running here. But he's going to run a corner. You're going to get a corner out of him. You're going to get 80 running over the top here. But what's happening is Drew Sample's going to hit Highsmith for like a good 1 Mississippi, maybe 1 Mississippi and a half. And then he's going to go to the flat. So you got a corner, you got a flat, and then you've got this little over. So you got guys, it ends up being like a naked here. And what he's doing is he says, okay, do I have the corner route? Which actually, believe it or not, he actually did have the corner route. He could have easily have thrown that corner route for a touchdown right there. But what happened is he looked over here and he said, okay, Highsmith is hot. Now, see how he blocked him and he let him go? Well, Highsmith kept coming. So in his mind, he goes, oh, crap, I don't want to get hit by 56. I've already been hit by 51. And see how he gets that ball up and over? That's how he should have thrown that ball earlier to Irwin. Just because there's a guy in the way doesn't mean you can't get the ball to whoever's over the top of it. That's getting the ball over a hot defender. And then right here, I mean, if your own guy's in the way, get him out the way. Block him yourself. So anyway, there's that. Now I'm going to end on this one with the offense. That dude right there, Chase, he's elite. What you don't see right here, which I'll show you in just a second, and if y'all haven't seen it yet, I'm about to show it to you. I don't know if he just didn't get his mouthpiece in his mouth, but he's holding his mouthpiece in his left hand right now. He actually has his mouthpiece in his left hand for some odd reason. But look at the throw that was thrown right here. I mean, the throw, the catch, everything. The most impressive part of this, now he's got to be careful about this because there are some refs, because he threw the ball at them, that'll call that. Now, showing this from this angle, from the TV copy angle, he's got his mouthpiece in his hand. You can see it from this angle. His mouthpiece is in his hand right there. That's impressive. I mean, go try to catch something with your hand. I mean, to make that catch, but also to make that catch with your mouthpiece in your hand. Again, I don't know why his mouthpiece is in his hand, but you can see it right there. You can see the mouthpiece right there. So, again, I mean, did he steal that from the Pittsburgh guy? I mean, let me see. No, because look, it's still there. It's in his hand right there. It's actually in his hand right there. So, anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. But again, that guy is elite. He's an elite player. It's good to see him still out there getting, making some plays. I know you'd like to see him make more. Now going to the defense. Okay. And here's the thing about the defense. I felt like when I watched it, like there was going to be a lot more negative things on this tape. And again, I found a lot more positives than negatives. Again, there's some things where, when they gave up 422 yards, but again, when you got 37 minutes of time possession, I think that's more of the issue, is getting them off the field, third downs, whatever the case may be. But now I'm going to start out with 3 plays. This will be bad tackling, okay? And I just want to kind of rip the Band-Aid off of this play right here. I haven't seen a play like this in a long time. This is just straight up duo. I've talked about duo 1,000 times. Everybody's just doubling here, and he's just coming here. He's reading this guy. Just, the same play Mixon ran earlier. Sometimes, though, when you got duo, you run into the middle of crap here. Well, here's the thing. If you watch this from the other angle, nobody ever wraps him up. You watch Najee Harris. He's going to go up in here, and he kind of gets lost up in there. Yeah, okay, Logan Wilson, misses him right there. He's kind of in the mush of a bunch of Steelers players, and some Steeler players, some of the Bengals players are going to start jumping on the back of number 80 right here, like he's got the ball. But still, nobody has wrapped up. 22's in there. See him? He's right there. Nobody's wrapped him up. And he just comes out the other end. I mean, again, that's one of those things of like, if you're watching this and you say, if as a young kid you go, oh, well, sometimes you just need to go down. Well, yeah, there are times. This is early in the game. Go get what you can get. Keep playing. If you're a lineman, keep playing. So help me out. The throws down the center over the linebackers. What's going on? We're about to get to that. I will get that's actually coming up, and we will 100% cover the throws to Freiermuth. Okay, now this one right here. I'm going to talk about this because they're blitzing here. So right here comes Battle. He's going to cross into this gap. He's going to cross into this gap. Now, when these guys do this, there's a gap right there that he is responsible for. So you can see right there. So now he's got that gap. He's got the edge. He's got this gap. Technically, the guy whose head's there has got this gap. He's got this gap, and he's got the outside gap here. Pratt has this gap. He's got to shoot his shot just a little. See how he's kind of hanging? Shoot your shot, man. Go up in there. Go make that play. Shoot your shot, but he doesn't get up in there, and again, he gets run past. But again, that's what even 65 is taking a bad angle. 65 should kind of still be working up here and getting on that. But again, that's you could see right here. Watch him right here. He's looking up at the screen like, man, so you could tell. I mean, he knew. Now this last one I got of bad tackling, because I want to show this one. I'm going to show the next one and show you what it should look like. So again, this is just duo, or I'm sorry, this is punch. This is one back power. But they're bringing this guy in here to come block this safety. So you got that safety blocked. So your unblocked guy is a corner. As a running back, I would always tell the running backs, and running backs would tell each other this. Yes, you should be able to run on safeties. Linebackers, these guys up here, those are tough to run on. If you run on a corner, corners are paid in the NFL to do what? To cover and intercept the ball. So that's a Woozier right here, okay? Great job by Pittsburgh. I know y'all hate me when I say that, but they got everything washed down. So, yeah, he takes that track right there. That's your unblocked guy. That's a corner. When you're putting a run plan together, you're okay with this. That is okay. You want that. If you hear if you hear a few little like high pitched squeals coming on this broadcast, that would be my 2-year-old out in the rest and outside this door right now. So I do apologize for that, but his name is Bowden and he just wants to be a part of it. So if you look here, but this is a corner, but I want you to watch what he does. So he misses it. Missed it. Okay. Who made the tackle? The safety. Okay. Going to the next play. Same thought process. Okay. Except they're running duo. So duo can go anywhere. So duo can end up going back here, which is where this play goes. But I want you to watch Dax Hill. So this play comes back all the way back. Now, should he make this play in this gap? That's his gap. I can't tell who that is. But anyway, that's his gap right there. BJ Hill. So that's his gap. But here comes Dax Hill. Watch this. This is a safety. This is high level tackling abilities right there. Watch this from the sideline. This is a great form tackle. Head across in front. Near foot, near shoulder. Run through it and go backwards. That's a great job of form tackling right there. And again, people want to give the safeties a hard time. I think that, that right there that's a big time play right there. So, again, but that's why he want to run on a corner and not a safety. It's a big difference. Not that Chinadu Awuzie is a bad player, not by any means, but again, that's why we make that thought process. So we're on good tackling now. Everybody say hi to Reed. Reed's in production today. I appreciate Reed. Reed is a very appreciated part of the clicker, and Casey as well. But Reed, he's here with me today, so I'm gonna love him up a little bit. All right, so this is just a wide receiver step back, and what they're gonna end up doing is, you see this, bam, he's gonna go up and make a tackle right here. Boom. Okay, he missed it. Okay, now I've been making this point for weeks now. Set the edge. You have an inside guy and you have a guy who fills. It's a vice drill. You're vicing the runner. You got an outside, you got an inside, and then you got a guy filling in here. That guy's one-on-one. Talking about Hilton. Okay, so Hilton misses the tackle. Fine. Okay, good. There's Hendrickson. There's your corner setting the edge. Here comes Logan Wilson right here. Here comes the rest of your crew. And then Hilton ends up actually making the play. So this is good, man. I mean, this is good tackling. This is something that we've been kind of beating on them for a little while about the tackling, but that's actually pretty good. I mean, that's a well done play by Hilton and the rest of the group, because if Hilton didn't get up and make that play, obviously he's got the rest of his crew there. Now this is a check down versus Tampa 2. Okay, so the backs can come over here. Again, you're going to be one-on-one here when he throws this ball. You can see right here. And again, this is Hilton. And this is that hip drop tackle. See how he gets on him, he drops his hips. I don't think he necessarily meant to do it, but that's kind of, it's not really a great job. But here's the thing. He got on him, and when he got on him, he grabbed everything right there. And then here comes Miles Murphy finishing it off. So if you watch this from this angle right here, I mean, these are one-on-one tackles. Good. Get on him, grab that leg right there. Grab the leg, and then you know what? Here comes the rest of your dudes. But again, that's high level space tackling. It's hard to tackle in space. Again, like I told you, to go out there and jump in your backyard and get hit in the chest. Go out in your backyard, throw a pass there. So just run out like this and go try to tackle somebody. Now, don't hurt each other. But if you do that, if anybody does that in their backyard and they actually do it, please post that somewhere online and then tag me in it at Coach Kyle Caskey. I would love to see this. I was actually tapping him on the wrist, but it's okay. Listen, Reed does a lot. Okay, I think if y'all watch the show in the morning, if you watch Off the Bench, he looks like he's just sitting there, but that Mac he's got in his lap is actually is putting out some work now. And I'm not just saying that. That's the truth. Casey back there is doing a lot too. Elliot, I don't know Elliot as well. I need to get to know Elliot a little better. Trace obviously is the boss man. So I don't, you never say a bad word about Trace. Anybody says a bad word about Trace, coming at you, because he's the boss man. last couple here on the good tackling. Watch 95. So this was 3rd and 2. This is a big conversion. Here's the thing. They probably, I don't know if they're going to give him that, but it's going to be 4th and 1 if he's down right here. But I want you to watch. There's a hand right there. It's a random hand right there that's hitting that off of a guy who's on the ground. Because I want you to watch this. The long-haired guy. Okay, we'll show this to you from the end zone. I don't know my man's name, but I want you to watch what he does to Zach Carter. Oh, he gets him on the ground. Now, that hand right there, before that knee touched, knocked that ball out. And again, great job by the Bengals. It's never, ever over, okay? Never, ever over. Now, this guy's getting beat up on every level, which he should. It's never over, man. Don't put it in the officials' hands. Here's the thing. On either side. Good by DJ Turner right here. Good job by him. Just saying, you know what? Play ain't over, man. I'm not putting it in that guy's hands. Ever. Don't put it in the officials' hands. Go do it yourself. And if they bring it back, they bring it back. Okay? That's fine. Now, the last one in good tackling here, and I put this in good tackling, which is very odd because you're going to be like, why is this in good tackling? Well, you got a guy who has the edge. You got a guy who, when this guy comes over here and he goes inside, he fills inside. He's got outside. This play should be stuffed right here. Okay, he can make the play, but you got a guy with outside leverage. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what the definition of holding is, but I think when you're restricting a guy, I don't understand that one. And again, if you see his hand is outside, and if you saw this from the TV copy, they threw the flag got thrown. Look, there's the flag being thrown right there. I don't understand why this one got picked up. And I put this in good tackling because if he's not getting held, he's standing right here to turn this back into these guys. So again, I couldn't put that in bad tackling, and I couldn't ignore it either. But again, I don't know where that I don't know how that got by. Now we're going to sacks. So transitioning over here, let's see how well this works. Look at that, rolling. Now this is going to be Spider 3. Everybody's heard about Spider 3, right? Spider 2, Y banana. Spider 3. Spider 2 goes to the right. Spider 3 goes to the left. Well, Spider means you have a flat route and the back cutting off the edge, and the quarterback's going here, and then you've got something else up here. So I want you to watch Hilton right here. So he's going to step up because he doesn't know if this isn't running right here or not. Well, all of a sudden, this guy goes to the flat. Watch Hilton cover the flat because look at where his eyes are. His eyes are on the flat. That's your first read. Then his second read goes here. Well, he's kind of in the throwing lane. Well, the problem with Spider protection is you're cutting the outside leg of the outside defender right outside the tackle. First thing outside the tackle. So Najee Harris is going to cut that leg of Hendrickson and run through it. Well, Hendrickson plays this off well. He doesn't get cut down to the ground. If you get cut down to the ground and he's got to get up, he might give him a chance to do something. But the fact that he didn't get cut and get pushed down to the ground, see how he uses his hands and pushes him down right there, and then watch his feet. When he goes for his feet, watch his feet come back. See how he brought his feet back with him? So that's one way to get it out of it. Now, I mean, I think this is just Pickett losing his balance here. But even if he didn't lose his balance, he's standing right there. I'm not sure he gets away from that. So, but that was one sack there. The next sack, I do want to make a point of this. I brought this up on off the bench yesterday with Thom and the guys. Is Myles Murphy. Everybody's asking where Myles Murphy's been. Myles Murphy's a good player now. I give him time, man. I mean, the dude just literally got there. Okay, so don't bury him. Don't bury him just yet. But again, I don't know how good the left tackle for Pittsburgh is, but when you can run up and dip and rip under and then redirect and get back on that angle as quickly as he did, I mean, that reminds me right there. Go back, put a number 96 on this guy right here. Put a number 96 on that guy and put Dunlap on the back of his jersey. When Carlos Dunlap would rush and he would go full speed like this, that reminds me of Carlos Dunlap in his prime. So I think you've got another guy who's got that long length. Look at him. He's got that one-arm bull. The tackle can't even get his hands on him. So when he does that, then he's going to dip and rip under this thing. And again, I mean, you've got something there. So again, is he going to be Sam Hubbard or Hendrickson right now? Probably not, but give him time. It'll be all right. All right. Now coverage issues. Let's see what this looks like. See what my coverage looks like right here. Hey, there we go. Reed's on his game now. All right. Now, coverage issues. Now, this is Deontay Johnson, okay? I just want to make a point here. I mean, they are going to make plays. This is a rookie, okay? That's a rookie. And I get it. I'm not giving him an excuse because he's played almost a full year now, so he's almost not a rookie anymore. But that guy's going to make plays too. And again, that's right in that same spot where the mouthpiece catch was made. So maybe there's something going on over there, magnetic fields. But yeah, you can't get too mad about that because that's really good coverage. I mean, that's really good coverage. And again, they're gonna make plays at times, man. I mean, the best corners in the league get beat like this on occasion. So, and again, the throwing ability for him has not always been the issue, man. I mean, that guy can throw the ball. And again, that their receivers at Pittsburgh are decent receivers. They're not just some slaps that are hanging around. Now this is George Pickens. All right. And he's running a slot fade right here. This is on Hilton. He's going to run the slot fade right here. So again, man, I mean, does he get a push off right there? Is that considered a push off? I don't know, man. I mean, you got a dude standing right here looking at it. So, I mean, if he thought so, yeah. But again, that's every time. But again, that's pretty good coverage by Hilton, man. I mean, they make plays too. And this is probably a better matchup. That's probably the matchup they were wanting while they put him in the slot. They wanted to get him on Hilton and not on Awuzie or Turner out there just so that they didn't, they put him on the nickel guy. And again, Hilton's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but it is what it is. Now, we were asked earlier, okay? We were asked earlier about the throws over the middle to Freiermuth. Well, here we go. First play of the game. Very first play of the game. So they motion him in and motion him out. Why do they motion him in and motion him out? That's a good question, right? Some people in the chat are going to know. Some people watching this are going to say, hey, it's because they're looking man or zone. So if Hilton were to have run across the formation with him, they would have said, okay, cool, it's man. Well, when he does this and Hilton stays over here, they say, okay, they're in zone. And he runs back over, he gets set. Now, all they're doing here is they're running four verts. Okay. This guy's going to run up the numbers until he sees cover two. When he sees cover two, he's going to bend it inside. Same thing with this guy. He's going to bend it inside. This guy's going to keep it outside. He's going to keep it outside. They're running a little trap pass here, so they're doing a little misdirection, which doesn't get him at all. Now, the one thing about Tampa 2 means this backer's actually dropping to almost a deep third. He's got like this deep middle. But when Logan Wilson turns his hips and they face that way, he immediately knows he's throwing this side. And he sees cover two, so he knows right when Freiermuth passes this first level defender right here, he's going to push here and he's going to come right through there. And you see that's why he threw it. If Logan Wilson would have for some reason turned his hips that way, he would have thrown to this guy. It's all dependent on his whole read right now in cover two in Tampa 2 is that guy right there. And you can see it from right here. See, watch the stripe of his helmet. Stripe of his helmet's looking right there to start. Then he realizes, okay, he's turned this way. Now I'm looking to throw that ball right there. And again, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's a good play call against that defense. It's just, I mean, people can say, oh, that's a busted coverage. It's not really a busted coverage. That's the weak point of Tampa too is behind. If he's looking that way, it's that bender route in that hole, and he hit it. All right, give him credit where credit's due. I mean, they made a good play. This one right here, this is cover 6, and when I say cover 6, they're playing like a trail up here, so they're pretty much like inside man on this guy, and he's over the top. So it's like he's playing a half here. These guys are playing quarters over here. So this guy's kind of got this area. Now the problem is when you bring a guy underneath like this, and a lot of times this guy's got to bite on that just enough. Well, they're going to run this tight end right through the middle. So all he's running is like a middle clear route. And you see how it's not like he's running a seam. He's literally just running down the middle of the field, and he's sitting right here, and then he's going to come break in here. Well, that's going to catch the eye of the safety just enough. You see how he's waiting on this guy to come in, and they popped it right over the top to him. So, they're trying to take that away over here. Like this whole thing over here, those two guys are really taking that guy out. They're saying that receiver is not Deontay Johnson's not catching the ball on this play. But Freiermuth right there came right up the middle, and should he carry him a little bit more? Probably. Again, these coverages are taught differently on all kinds of different teams. But that's just a middle clear out route right there. And in all reality, they're trying to clear that out to throw that thing underneath right there. But when you get him over the top like that and you got all that area right there, that's why they were hitting it right there. So those are the two big plays over the middle. Now, Anarumo's pressure. Okay, I want to talk about this pressure package that Lou Anarumo had here, and I thought this was really, really good by what he was doing. This looks like quarters right before the snap. So this looks like just should be a basic 4-man rush, quarters zone look. Well, they timed this thing up right here to where now it's a will-free safety blitz, and really these two guys are dropping out, and you end up in a 1 high, 3 deep, 3 under. There's a guy right there. And right here, I'm not 100% sure what the back is doing right here. I know it looks to me like they're setting this way. They're like cross keying it, and then he's like setting over here. But even when you cross key, if there's 2 over here, I've been known to come back and scan for this guy. So if you look at this from the back end, when Logan Wilson drops out, because I think his eyes are on Logan Wilson, when he drops out, he should been peel back over here. But instead, you can see right there, I mean, Pickett's just got to get rid of the ball. So that was, if you watch this from the very beginning again, it looks like they're going to bring in, I'll show you in just a second, they actually have one where they bring guys on both sides, almost the exact same look. So they've got a lot of different disguises that look the same, which is a big deal. These are the hardest to pick up. I mean, from an offensive perspective, that's a free runner. I mean, that's what you want. You got a free runner. So that's a really good, and Pickett had to throw it away right there. So looking at the next one, now this one I was just saying, now you've got this guy down here coming off the edge, but now they're going to bring this guy, and it's that same pattern that Pittsburgh ran, where they ran the end up. Remember, Watt went up and the DB came inside. So they're doing the same thing over here. They've got a guy. Now this is a voided coverage. So they've got cover 3 here, and they've only got 2 underneath. So you're banking on getting home with somebody. And if you look here, again, I don't know what the running back is doing on this one. Their line is going this way. Like, they're going to the left. His eyes should be here to the next guy here. And you can see right there, I mean, the back, the back should be there blocking him. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that, unless, I mean, you could tell he's got his eyes on Chip and Hubbard here, but if you've got that guy, maybe that orange hit him in the orange of the B right there. It's all that camouflage, playing chess, not checkers right here with the Bengals right now. But again, right here, I mean, and I will say this, very good job by Hilton. Okay. There's some of these dudes that would run through this dude just to run through him. Okay. Again, he pulled up, he hit him with his chest, and then he didn't, again, that's not roughing. So, but the fact that he had all these guys coming, yes, he's open. Yes, he's open. But remember, I told you it's a voided fire zone. You're expecting this to get home. Now, if this back were to have blocked right here, and gave him more time, could have been a big deal, but it wasn't. And you know what? That's why you play the game the way you play the game. Now, this right here, if you looked at this, if you're a fan of football, you'd say, okay, man, everybody else is coming. This is called an all-out blitz. Zero, cover zero means there's no deep player back here. Everybody's playing man. What people are doing now, though, they'll line up in cover zero, and they're going to blitz everybody. But here's the thing. If a lineman turns to you on certain guys, if a lineman turns to you and tries to block you, you then take a couple steps up and then you drop out late. Now, why would they zero blitz on the 23-yard line right here or 22-yard line? Why would they zero blitz right here? Well, this is the same reason everybody else zero blitz on these situations is if you sack him and you sack him back here, that's a longer field goal. Makes sense? Okay, so they're trying to get here. So they're saying we're going to bring everybody, and then you're going to have to beat us in coverage and beat the blitz to make it happen. But what they're trying to do now is they're trying to drop some dudes out late, and you'll see it right here. Now, yeah, that's a big D lineman that dropped out, and there's Logan Wilson that's dropping out. But look at all the other guys that are coming free. You got free runners back here, and again, it's sped up. It's sped up the process, and then when he throws this, I think he sees B.J. Hill right here, and again, he actually gets a hand on it. Look at him. Got a hand on it, but that's why they're doing that, because when 61 turned right here, he dropped. When 78 turned right here, he dropped. See how you just consumed 61, and now you've got a one-on-one here, and you've really got, you held the edge over here enough. Now you've got two guys outside you. See how long Logan Wilson held it in there? He's holding it in there, and then he's going to drop out because he's trying to hold 78 long enough to where they can't get everybody over there. And you can see how that gets was that Awuzie gets him off the right edge there. And then the last one I got here, this is cover zero, and again, you kind of, when you do it enough, again, they had all three guys. That's why that guy was over here on the last play. But now it's the same. This, I believe, if you went to their playbook, it's probably the exact same call right here. And you can see right here when the center set to Reader drops out. She got big 98 dropping out. You didn't get everybody dropping out here, but again, this is a good job by Pittsburgh of getting just deep enough to get over the top of these droppers, but underneath that guy. And, they end up, getting a play out of it. So you're going to get it got every once in a while. But again, if you look at the design of it, it's pretty good design. I mean, you've got pressure getting on him. I mean, yeah, it doesn't get to him, but I think if you have a more aware guy, and when I say that, if that's, again, you're dropping guys out that maybe don't always drop. But if he looked as he dropped and saw this guy coming over here, he might have dropped a little bit back, might have dropped a little bit further that way and gotten in the way of that, gotten in the lane of that. But that you take the chance on that. And again, I mean, good for Pittsburgh beginning. But again, the pressure packages that they were using in this game, man, I mean, I'm telling you, they're on top of their stuff. So, one of the things now, looking forward to this next week, it's a Monday night game at Jacksonville. And I can tell you, Jacksonville is is an interesting place to play. If you've never been there, I lived when I coached there. I lived like half a mile. I used to take those little those bird scooters. I used to take a bird scooter on game day and ride it from my apartment down to where I was staying, down to the stadium. And it's one of those cool little things down there. But they've really put a lot of work into that stadium, into that facility. If you're going to the game, I'd say, man, there's some really good microbreweries down there, just like there are in Cincinnati. So give it a shot. It's a nice town. It doesn't get a whole lot of accolades nationally, but I'm telling you, it's a nice town down there. They do have some pools in their stadium, so they will have some people swimming during the game, which is a little interesting. One of the things I just wanted to talk about going forward with Jacksonville is one of the things they've been so inconsistent. And if you look at what they're trying to do on offense, they're trying to let Trevor Lawrence be the guy, which he should be. But they've also got Christian Kirk. They've also got Travis Etienne, who Travis Etienne was there when I was there, and I coached Travis Etienne for a year with Bernie Parmalee. And Travis was hurt though. Travis had broken a bone in his foot during the preseason and was hurt. Travis Etienne's real now. I mean, he's a player. I'll have a preview show coming out on Friday this week. Usually I'll try to put it on Thursday, but with the game being on Monday, push it a day, give you guys a little extra time to enjoy your week, and then we'll come back to it. But I do want to make a point though of the turnover ratios. The Bengals have a high turnover ratio right now. They were close to leading the league, if not leading the league. Jacksonville does not. So if the Bengals can go and get some turnovers, this could go either way. And again, see how they come out, because they've been kind of inconsistent. Some games they come out and they're world beaters. The next time they come out and they are what they are. But again, I've lived in that world down there in Jacksonville, and they got some good fans. I think you guys will enjoy those people down there. It's an interesting place. But I appreciate everybody in the chat. I know you guys are all I mentioned in the first round pick that I mentioned earlier, and now everybody's going off about what they've missed on and things. I don't think they missed on Myles Murphy. Okay. And again, do you draft a guy in the first round as a developmental guy? Well, you can when you have two guys in front of them and you know that guy's going to be the guy. So they know Myles Murphy's going to be the guy. So let him develop behind those other two, and it is what it is. But to sit there and say that was a bad decision, I'm not sure about that. I don't think you can say that. So we'll see what happens with the quarterback position. I think they're going to stick with Browning, and if AJ gets in there, I think AJ will be ready. Just kind of got to get that run game rolling a little bit better, and then I think you'll see something out of this team this week, one way or the other. This is going to be the week that you'll see a little bit more growth because they've had a game under their belt with Browning. So I think you'll see a little bit better offensively coming out of this thing. Defensively, just got to get all those weapons neutralized from Jacksonville on offense, and I think they'll be just fine. I don't think it's going to be any kind of a blowout game on either side. So it should be a good game next Monday night. Appreciate you guys being here. If there's ever anything online, you could please at Coach Kyle Caskey, you can find me there. Chatterbox Sports at Cbox Sports. Reed, Casey, Elliot, Thom, Trace, all those dudes back there. Appreciate you guys. Check out Off the Bench every morning at 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. as they would say on the show, and check them out. It's on Chatterbox Sports YouTube page. But other than that, we will see you guys during the preview show, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday live here 5:30. Even though it's a Monday night game, we'll be here 5:30 on Tuesday next week. I'll see you then.